Alright guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video. So we've got some more transfer news. Marcus Rashford to Barcelona. Here we go, confirmed by Fabrizio Romano yesterday. It is a loan. It is a loan for Marcus Rashford to Barcelona, which, as a United fan, it's annoying. It's really annoying. I'm annoyed by it. I'm not going to lie to you. This is a player who clearly isn't in Amarim's plans, and we can't sell him because of his wages. And this is a big problem we have whenever we try to sell players. The wages that we give players when we sign them is ridiculous. And it's something that Ineos and the Glazers really need to work on in future transfers. It's going to be very difficult to sell Sancho, Garnacho, and Anthony. They've all been put up on the transfer list by Amarim. It's going to be difficult to sell them because of their wages. But we'll talk about Marcus Rashford to Barcelona. Here we go. I think Rashford has wanted this move. I think Rashford has pushed for this move. Obviously, Barcelona were looking at Luis Diaz from Liverpool. But yeah, Barca, I just don't think were willing to pay what Liverpool asked, which is fair enough. Which is fair enough. Hansi Flick giving the green light for Marcus Rashford to come in on loan. And, it's going to be very interesting. It is going to be very interesting. It's going to be weird. I mean, it was weird when we saw Rashford wearing an Aston Villa shirt. It's going to be very weird seeing him wear a Barcelona shirt. But, I feel like this move for Rashford could be good, New environment, new league, and he could win trophies. Barcelona will be favourite to win La Liga next season. They may be favourite to win the Champions League. We don't know. But yeah, he's going to a team that should win trophies next season, Barcelona. I feel like the only issue is, though, for me personally, I can't see Rashford starting. I look at the Barca front three. You're going to have Lamine Yamal on the right wing, Lewandowski up front, and then Rafinha on the left wing. Rashford doesn't start. He's going to be a bench player. That'll annoy Rashford. That will annoy him because he will want to play. But there's just no way he gets into that front three. I'm sorry. Rafinha had a Ballon d'Or contender season. Same for Lamine Yamal. And Lewandowski, he's a goalsman. You can't drop Lewandowski. So Rashford isn't going to start. He's going to be a bench player. And that's just something that he's going to have to try and, deal with. I mean, surely Rashford knows that he's going to be a bench player. Like, surely he knows. I mean, I would think that he would know. Like, he can't expect to start. You just can't. I'm sorry. But I feel like for Barca, it's a good sign. It's a good squad player, good bench player to bring off from the bench. If Barca are like losing or struggling to create chances, Rashford can give you that spark. I do think there is a buyout clause, and I've heard rumours that it's 30 million. Now, that could be complete nonsense, but I think there is a buyout clause. I don't think the price has been confirmed, but I've heard from somewhere that it's 30 million. I think you've got to take that. I think you've got to take that. Obviously, personally for me, I would have liked, 40, 45 million. But, Rashford, he's getting on a bit. And yeah, we just need to get him out the door, really, like, not on loan, like, actually someone needs to buy him. And pay his wages and all that. But, if it is 30 million, will Barca buy him? Who knows? I actually feel like this is a good move for Marcus Rashford. You know, I still look back on that season that Rashford had with us when we had Ten Hag. What a season! Just goal score and for fun. He was Rashford. And then, but that was always the problem with Rashford. He was a very purple patch player. He never did it on a consistent basis, and that's always been the problem. But he is a Manchester boy, and I'm hoping that he can do well at Barca. Listen, the ship has sailed at Manchester United. There's no, well, when Ruben Amorim's there, there's no coming back for Rashford. If Amorim leaves, gets sacked potentially, maybe, but if Amorim's in charge, there's no coming back for Marcus Rashford. Amorim has made that very clear that he does not want Marcus Rashford in the squad for next season, and Barca have snatched him up. I am surprised though. He has gone Barca. You can't blame him. But I thought he would have gone to a team where he's 100% gonna play, and clearly Rashford's fine with being a bench player at Barcelona. Clearly, otherwise he wouldn't have joined. But no, I feel like Barca, they're getting an exciting player. I remember that game, Manchester United against Barcelona at the Nou Camp, in the Europa League, if you remember. I think it was like three years ago. And Rashford put in a really, really good performance. I'm pretty sure he scored twice, actually. I could be wrong about that, but I think he definitely scored one. So yeah, Barca fans had a little glimmer of Rashi there, and now they're going to get the full Rashford experience next season. But for Rashford, I do hope he bangs in La Liga. Obviously he's going to be coming up against Trent Alexander-Arnold, which is going to be quite weird. Obviously both English. When El Clasico comes on, can we just put Rashford left wing, Trent right back? Let's have another battle between Rashford and Trent. To be fair, Rashford, on occasion, most of the time wins the battle between them two, because Trent can't defend. But yeah, I hope this was a successful loan for Rashford. Obviously, Aston Villa wasn't really a success. Villa didn't end up buying him. And I do hope Barca, at the end of next season, will buy him, because he needs to just get out the club. It's harsh to say, but he does. Rashford needs to leave, and he needs a new chapter at a permanent club. But guys, let me know in the comments your thoughts on Marcus Rashford to Barcelona. Very interesting move. But yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Catch you later.